I wanted to share with you how I create end of semester messages to the students in all of my classes. First of all, on screen here, I've got Ecamm Live, my favorite video production, but and that is for Mac only. There are other tools you can use like OBS or Camo. I also have a teleprompter app that comes up, so I write the content, I write what I want to say, and then so that I can make eye contact with the lens rather than reading my notes off to the side, I've got that comes up and the words come up and I choose the tempo. But inside of there, behind there is my camera lens. You see that circle back there? That's why we use teleprompters. The glass is basically the camera's behind it, and so we put the words in front of it, and it's got this reversing, reflecting thing that happens with a mirror. But basically, when I look at it right side up. There's an iPad that does the work there, and an app that flips it that I use called Yam Display. But I've created my scene here, and I'm talking to the students. I'm remembering to smile and to recall the feelings and the emotions that I have for them, even though they're obviously not in there, but they're in here and in here. So I got to make sure I can bring those feelings up as I record my message, so it doesn't just come across as like, hey, thanks for a great semester, wishing you the best, bye. I don't want it to be all blasé. And so the way I do it is I think of an attention getter and a clincher, which is what I teach them in class to begin with. So what's the first thing I want to say to them? What is the last thing I want to say to them? And what's the message in between? So that's basically the structure we learn in class as well. So for my attention getter, I start with, all right, that's a wrap. You did it. You finished your public speaking course, and that's worth celebrating. So that's my attention getter. Talking to them, that's a wrap. You did it. Congratulations. Then I tell them the 3 things I hope they're walking away with. There's so much more I could say, of course, but this is only going to be like a 1-minute message here. So I've got to tie it down to the top 3 things because, they're not going to watch it otherwise. And then I think of the last thing I want to say. So I go through my 3 things and I think about how I want to say that, like, please keep in touch. I mean it. Happy 2026. And I'm smiling and I'm like, I don't know why, but ever since I was a little kid, like I just do like the peace sign all the time. So that's a little behind the scenes view of how I do this. So, I got my screen here, teleprompter here, and I'm here. Oh, that's my big giant light. Here's another smaller light there. See if I could zoom out. Anyway, happy 2026 to you too. I hope you've had a great semester.